So I'd like to start off by thanking MMPJ for having this night. I really think that our Muslim youth need nights like this more often. And with that being said, this is the first time that I ever do anything like this. But inshallah, I'll be able to articulate my message clearly in a way that you guys can take something away from it. So what my mini speech is going to be about is my experience as connecting with my identity as a Muslim in a Western secular society. A few years ago, I wasn't really religious, although I did grow up in a Muslim household, and I wasn't religious in the sense that I didn't really grow up with any Muslim friends. It was mainly, white people, and then gradually as I grew up, I kind of started meeting Muslim people, and everything that I knew about my religion was basically through my parents or through family friends or conversations that I would overhear. So as I matured, I started to seek answers for myself. Before I would ask questions and I would get answers that I wouldn't be able to fully internalize. And so as I was reflecting, I realized that it's because my parents, or our parents, have lived through a different revolution than us, and we're currently living through a different revolution. So it's very hard for them to articulate the messages in a way that we can basically apply it in our daily lives today. So with that being said, I'm going to basically share what I learned throughout this journey. And the number one thing that I learned is the importance of unlearning everything and learning it again, unlearning the mix of cultural and religious, ideas of what it is to be a Muslim, and to basically independently go and seek answers for yourself. So as I was, learning and teaching myself about my own religion to what made sense to me and what spoke to my most inner self, I realized that many hadiths and even in the Quran, it makes seeking knowledge an obligation upon every single Muslim. And seeking knowledge upon every single Muslim and basically learning that knowledge and spreading it is also an obligation. And acting upon that knowledge so it does not go to waste is also very important. And in the process, we have to learn not to be judgmental, because before diving into my religion and starting to explore it, I realized that I was scared of being judged for not being a good Muslim. And my experience of starting to going to the mosque proved exactly the opposite. There were so many people that could relate to the struggles that I was going through as a Muslim and trying to integrate into society. And I'm just going to mention an article that I read about the human lifespan in 90 years, and basically he was dividing it and showing how much limited time we actually have with spending our time with our parents, spending quality time, and most importantly, how much limited time we have to actually read and educate ourselves about certain issues, which leads me to talking about beneficial knowledge. So yes, of course, it's important to seek knowledge, but not any kind of knowledge, beneficial knowledge. Knowledge that helps you understand your surroundings better and helps you get in touch with your identity. And, integrating this knowledge in a way that both Muslims and non-Muslims can benefit from. So leading by example. And in this way, by you helping yourself, you're actually helping society as a whole, because then you're able to negate misconceptions about Muslims and all these wrong ideas that you hear in the media, and most importantly, negate misconceptions that you yourself might have as being a Muslim. And a lot of people think, and I used to be one of those people that used to think, okay, when I get older, I'll just, start becoming more religious, I'll start being a good Muslim. But that misses the whole entire point. The whole point of Islam is to help you in every single step of your journey. It has so much to offer you. It has so much theoretical and methodological tools to basically help you analyze your experience, and so much research literature that you need to take advantage of. You need to use this and basically interpret your experience in a way that is enriching and meaningful. And this goes to my point of restoring, the importance of restoring an Islamic ecosystem in our everyday life. And what I mean by that is building something that is transgenerational, long-term, and permanent all at once. And this we can do in 3 steps. Number 1 is renew our commitment. First step is renewing our faith. And I'll talk about this after I mention the steps, but renewing our faith has a lot to do with establishing a bond with Allah, which I will get into. And number 2 is renewing our commitment. And number 3 is reviewing, never settling for the way that you are right now, always trying to improve yourself, always trying to improve your character, always trying to improve your deed. And going back to establishing a bond with Allah and how I went about it is basically, first I looked at His 99 names. What are the most merciful, the protector, the giver of peace. These attributes are there for you to experience and to basically try to grasp their meaning, which we won't ever be fully to grasp in the sense that we can never be as merciful as Allah Himself, but we can try to attempt to see the difficulty in being merciful. And our relationship with Allah has to be one based out of love. Fear comes secondary. Fear of, hurting other people, or fear of not living to your full potential. That has to come secondary. You have to have a bond with Allah based out of love. I cannot stress this enough. And finally, I'm going to end this off with patience being an essential thing to everything, to your experience, to, whenever you go through, there's so many different kinds of patience, but basically patience in the sense that you never give up on yourself. You never, we all make mistakes, we all sin, we all do things that we're not proud of, but never give up on, bettering yourself. And I'd like to end this off with saying that when you can't find Allah outside of you, you have to find Allah within you. And if there is peace within you, there is always going to be development. Thank you. Thank you, Zara. That was really powerful, and I hope you all enjoyed that.
So our next performer will be Sohail Mahmoud.
Thank you for having me. When I first got asked to do this, I guess I kind of drew a blank on what to really talk about until Donald Trump won the Nobel Peace Prize. So I was helping a friend with an essay, so it all flowed out of me. So this is something that's maybe a lot of you can relate to, and if you can't, then that's good. This expression works. So this is called I Love Myself. Since the age of 11, I've been haunted by September 11th. Innocence taken away from brainwashing airwaves, slaves to a TV set. I learned not to expect an open hand, but to accept open hands. To trust the falling sand and hands of time, following my parents' guidance of, one day you'll understand. These days I've been speaking to ghosts, like those who in the physical still seem close. I must have a sixth sense the way I see these cycles repeat and I see these gyres end. I weigh both sides of the Libra scale, trying to find balance, trying to give off a side of me that's gallant when all they're trying to do is take away the gold inside of me, inside the soul, and scold me when I say, what are these measly beans? I must believe in fairy tales. I even expected some sort of a cool beanstalk, but all I found was the cold, cold earth, and a heart full of open hurt. My lashes you cannot see. But Master, won't you please forgive our people, and let us be, like before your decree, to take over the world slowly? Viral infections, this manifest destiny is the new zombie. They're decreeing the new zombies. I already knew what it was like, rest in peace, Tupac and Big E. Now I know what it's like growing up in this white man's world. So Lord, please, give me the strength to persevere. I see teachers looking at me now with fear. Friends are hard to come by, and strangers just look at me and leer. I love myself. That got me through elementary. Form follows functions, these flows, 91 till finality. That message remains clear. I love myself. That got me through elementary. So when I say I'm nothing, when they say I'm nothing, do I correct them? Because nothing is something. I've learned that the hard way. I love nothing. Nothing is everything. You are nothing. I am nothing. We are nothing. Like a grain of clay in this empty space. Nothing is what I will go to when nothing happens in this face of our demise. It's everything to me. So as they live in their self-perceived abundance, I've been dancing with my joy of nothing, bobbing my head, swaying my hips, as we continue on this intergalactic spaceship we call Earth. I'm a dove amongst pigeons, so please do not be blind to my olive branch. Here I strut. You're like a tapeworm in a wild animal's gut, to leech on the walls and soak in the hate of others. Simply a parasite with no inner vision or insight. Your procedure of producing your vile creation of hate, it disgusts me. I wish you could see all the lives you've destroyed, families you've torn apart. So I sip this water slowly, the truth, the elixir of life. Heal with all love, heart, honor, and respect. It's nothing, it may seem, but that's everything to me. I love myself. Feel me?